Welcome back to Self-Employed School. You're most likely on the fence of whether you should hire someone for certain tasks or if you should just do them yourself. Budget is definitely a determining factor, but there are other important points to consider too. In this lesson, we're going to go through which tasks I recommend hiring out, as well as which you should absolutely maintain yourself and why. Let's break this into 3 categories. Services I recommend you hire out, services you can do yourself now and hire out later on, as well as services you should always do yourself. Under hire out, I recommend making the investment in hiring a professional to do your branding. Your branding is the look of your business, and it's essential that it's consistent on your website, e-newsletters, social media posts, etc. to build brand awareness. Yes, you could do your own branding now and hire a company later, but it's a lot of work to rebrand your entire suite of marketing materials from your website to the look of your e-newsletters, business cards to your social media. But more importantly, you want a vector file of your logo. Vectors are images comprised of mathematical formulas that establish points on a grid. This means they can infinitely adjust in size without losing resolution. A lot of professional printers will require you send them a vector file. You need an application like Adobe Illustrator or Adobe InDesign to create a vector. Cloud-based programs like Canva work in raster, which are comprised of pixels or colored blocks. Raster files cannot infinitely adjust in size. If you're super pressed financially, you can certainly create a temporary logo on Canva or use one of Vistaprint's business card templates to get started. The latter is what I did. Just pay special attention to Module 4 where we cover branding so you can choose a color palette and font that you likely won't change in the future when you hire someone to design your logo. This will maintain any brand awareness you've developed between now and then. Okay, under what you can do yourself and hire later is copywriting, graphic design, and website design. Copywriting is the words on your website and any of your marketing materials, and it's very important to make sure it connects with your audience and that you adhere to your brand voice. We cover this more in modules 4 and 5, and I'm confident that the majority of us are capable of doing our own copywriting. I've had many web design clients who felt like they were terrible writers, but when they wrote how they talk and let the words flow from the heart, nothing I could have written for them would reflect their business better. Graphic design includes business card design, rack card design, social media post graphics, and more. I do recommend hiring out the design of your main print materials like your business card and rack cards or brochures, but you can absolutely design your own social media post graphics and event flyers. I share graphic design and Canva tips in my Debug Your Business membership. As for website design, I know it can be very expensive to hire a professional at first, but it is a huge undertaking and I only recommend DIYing if you're tech savvy and not afraid to Google. If you decide to design your website or work with someone, pay special attention in Module 5. It also covers SEO. Search engine optimization is vital to getting people to your website, so make sure you incorporate SEO into your website plan. As for what I believe you should absolutely do yourself, blogging, email newsletters, and social media. Blogging is an opportunity to share what you know, entice potential customers into actual customers, and connect with your audience. You don't have to blog, but it is super effective for SEO, as well as acting as a lead magnet, which we'll cover later. Email newsletters are another way to connect with your audience, as is social media. Many small business owners opt to hire out their social media management, but that does more harm than good. You or someone on your team should be managing your own social media. Here's why. No one knows your business like you do or is as passionate about it. You know everything that's going on in your business, your top selling offers, what's new, what you'd like to sell more of, as well as industry-specific information. A social media manager may not understand the lingo of your industry or know what to share that your customers would find helpful or inspiring. A good social media manager will determine your goals and know which offers to promote and how, but they may still not understand an offer completely or know how to respond to questions in the comment section of a post. A great social media manager will be able to capture your brand voice and design posts based on your brand visuals, but nothing connects with your audience more than posts that come straight from you. It's timelier. Your business runs on a different timeline than social media management companies. They likely have set hours and other clients. What happens if you decide to host an impromptu sale or event, or if your business needs to close for the day? If it's the weekend, your marketing management company may not be working and able to accommodate your request. And if your request takes place during the company's working hours, what's their turnaround time? You may end up having to create the post yourself, which leads us to you'll save time. When you hire a company to manage your social media, you have to communicate what you'd like promoted, sales, product launches, etc., and provide the details. Then, once the company compiles the marketing materials, you have to go through and approve them. This doesn't include the onboarding time of acclimating the company to your business and sending them your brand guide, photos, and filling them in on your brand voice. And what happens when someone asks a question in a comment or direct message that your social media manager doesn't know how to answer? They'll have to ask you. With the added communication time, you might as well be managing your own social media. Even having a member of your team manage your social media is less time-consuming than hiring an outside company. And finally, you'll build deeper connections with your customers. Especially if you're a small business with only a few employees, customers can tell when it's an external company responding to their comments. People comment because they want to connect with you, not the company hired to manage your social media accounts. Establishing a connection with your followers builds trust and loyalty, the foundations of making sales. When you don't respond to direct messages or comments, you're reducing the amount of trust and loyalty you can build. It sends the message to your customers that if you can't answer their comments personally, how much personal attention are they going to receive when they book a service with you, or if they have questions about one of your products or offers? Our hire out now, do/hire later, and always do list is all about marketing. But what about other aspects of your business? When determining what to hire or do yourself, even for the marketing tasks I mentioned above, consider your budget, your time, and expertise on that subject or ability to learn. But let's dive into accounting and legal. Your business is responsible for tracking its income and expenses and reporting them to the IRS at tax time. A bookkeeper can keep track of your books for you, or you can use an Excel spreadsheet or QuickBooks. A CPA can also maintain your bookkeeping, and they can calculate your quarterly taxes and file your annual tax return. Note that accountants who are not certified public accountants can also maintain your bookkeeping and file your taxes, but they cannot represent you before the IRS. That's why I recommend working with a CPA. Now, you could use TurboTax to file your taxes, but a CPA is more likely to find you credits and deductions you hadn't considered. Also, when you own a business, you open yourself up to more tax liability. Having a CPA to back you up if you're audited or run into hot water with the IRS is huge peace of mind. To save money, you could hire a bookkeeper or maintain your books yourself, then have a CPA file your annual tax return. This is what I do. I use QuickBooks Online to do my own bookkeeping and send the info to my CPA at tax time. Depending on your business structure, you could opt for QuickBooks Self-Employed, which calculates your quarterly taxes for you. Plus, if you do opt for TurboTax, you can flood your business info right in from QuickBooks. I went with the online version so I could send invoices. My clients have the ability to pay with a credit card or their bank account right on the invoice. You can also process your payroll on QuickBooks Online. I've linked to both the self-employed and online versions on the lessons page. And another perk to both is you can track your mileage there, which is a deduction that totally adds up. Finally, you want to establish terms, policies, and draft contracts when applicable. You can either hire an attorney or use a contract template. Contracts lay out your payment terms, state what's included in your offer, set project deadlines, enforces your copyright, explains what goes down if the contract isn't followed, and protects your business. I purchase all of my legal contracts and templates from the legal page. What I love about her templates is they spell out the boundaries for you. My website design contract now includes provisions I hadn't considered before reading them in the template. Paige also offers other business-related templates, including subcontractor agreements, website terms and conditions, model releases, and more. Her website is easy to search, and you can shop by industry. I've linked to it back on the lesson page. That wraps up our little intro to Self-Employed School. We'll revisit many of these topics throughout this course. In Module 1, however, we're focusing on what you do in business. That is, your product or service. I'll see you there.